Hey everyone, in this video we are spending 3 nights here at Marten River Provincial Park. We're going to explore the park and see what there is in the area, and I'm super excited because this is the first stop on our 10-day camping adventure here up north. So come along with us and see what we get up to. Marten River Provincial Park is located about 4.5 hours north of Toronto and 30 minutes north of North Bay. It's a small park with 2 campgrounds offering both electric and non-electric camping options. The park is the southern gateway to the Temagami area and is a great base for boaters, hikers, and anglers. There is a replica logging cabin and museum on site offering an additional activity while you're there. Plus there are 3 beaches, multiple boat launches, and great trails to keep you busy. The drive took us about 5 hours, including 1 stop along the way, and for a long weekend there was hardly any traffic on the road. When we arrived, there were a few vehicles in the waiting area, but I went inside to register and got a map and a sticker while I was there. The park store here is quite small and mostly has souvenirs, so you can get your park stickers and crests and various souvenir items, but they don't really have anything by way of camping essentials or food and beverage if you forgot anything. The trailer water filling station here at Marten River is super convenient because it has 3 towers, so no matter which side your tank is on, you should be able to fill it here no problem. And the hoses are all threaded, so you can add a filter to the end if you want to. This park has a convenient recycling and garbage center with everything neatly laid out in a row so you can drive through or even walk through. We were in the Chicot Campground, which had both electric and non-electric site options. We are all set up and just sitting here to enjoy a moment of peace after a pretty long drive. We left around 12:30 and I think we got here just after 5. We are on site 107 and it's pretty nice. It's pretty private as well. There's just one section of the site where you can kind of see into the neighbors area, but we've positioned our trailer so you can't really actually see anything. And overall, we are pretty pleased with the site. We decided to go and explore the park before we have a fire, and not too far away from our site is an access point to the water, so we're gonna go check that out. This looks like a perfect spot to come and launch our kayaks later this weekend. It's not too far from our site, plus there's a parking area if we don't want to carry our kayaks down here, and it's not too far from the beach in this campground. The water is super calm right now. It's about 7:30 p.m., so I think an evening kayak would be on the itinerary this weekend. The beach in our campground was on the smaller side, but had a nice sandy beach area and was next to the boat launch and parking lot. Walking through our campground, and there are quite a few really nice non-electric sites and quite a few that I don't think I would recommend, but there's a good variety of size and quality here depending on what you're looking for. And they also have some pretty nice electric sites, which we are going to book in the future. Time to check out the comfort stations here. Oh, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, the washrooms were in use, so we couldn't show you those, but the showers were clean, so we suspect that the washrooms are plumbed and that they would probably be clean too. We did go back later and they did have running water, but were not in the cleanest condition. Time to go check out the dog beach. So there's not as much parking or picnic tables as at the other beach area, but if you do have a dog and want to come spend some time at the water, it looks like a pretty good spot. Our campground also has some pull-through sites, so if you do have a larger rig or just prefer to do a pull-through site instead of a back-in, they have options for you. I will note though that they aren't very private. Right by site 17 is a pretty steep hill. But there is a trailer down here. I don't know that I would really want to drive down here, to be honest. So that was quite the hill to come down, and there are lots of trailers down here, but it does seem like it's almost too steep to bring a trailer down this way. I guess people do it all the time though, because we've seen 1, 2, and there's one around the corner that's currently parking. So lots of trailers down here, and not small ones either. So we're just sitting here by the fire now, enjoying a nice relaxing evening, but this park seems pretty awesome and we're excited to explore more of it tomorrow. We've already scoped out where we want to go launch our kayaks tomorrow in either the morning or later in the evening to have some nice calm water. A beautiful sunset was happening while we were down by the water, but we didn't stay for the full thing. And now we're just gonna have a low-key evening and call it a night. We are finally off the campsite and going to do our first activity of the day, which is visiting the logging museum and winter camp. We're not actually sure if it's open though, so we'll hopefully be able to go on the tour now, but if not, we'll just come back tomorrow. Marten River Provincial Park's logging camp and museum is a replica of an early 20th century pine logging operation in the Marten River area. The tall white and red pines were first cut in 1905 in this region, with this camp depicting the style and methods of logging camps from approximately the 1900s to 1930s. So the first building they have here is a museum, and it has various artifacts inside from the logging industry in the 1900s. And it's really cool to see. They've got some plaques out here saying what they are, as well as some have descriptions of how they are used. So this is quite interesting, and it kind of reminds me of the logging museum in Algonquin, but this one seems to have more artifacts inside. There is also a 20-minute documentary that was filmed on site here that you can watch if you choose. The staff member will turn it on for you in this nice little room. This is the cookery, and it looks like a pretty robust replica of what the kitchen and cookery would have been like. Now we're headed to the blacksmith shop and the stables. And in case it's not apparent, it is very close to the road here, so there is a lot of highway noise, but not as loud in the campground area. So I think of all the buildings, the blacksmith shop and the original museum building are probably the most interesting, where you'd want to spend most of your time looking around.
Fortunately, the cell signal in this park is pretty good for both Bell and Rogers, which comes in handy because the buildings have QR codes so you can learn even more.
Overall, I thought that was a pretty cool attraction, especially if you're spending some time in the park and are looking for something to do. We spent about 30 minutes here, and if you watch the video, it's another 20. So we did all the buildings, toured around, and looked at all of the sleds. So it was pretty cool, and we would recommend doing it. Now we are on the path that takes you down to the beach, so we're gonna go check that out. Down at the beachfront area, they have a roped off swimming area plus a big beach volleyball court. There is a playground over there with swings and some slides, and it looks like you can pick up some rentals for canoes and kayaks. And this is just one of 3 beaches that are at this park. This is the day use section. Then it was time to head into North Bay, but I had to get my photo with this giant fish first. So if you're up for about a 35-minute drive, you can come into Gateway City Brewing Company, which is in North Bay. You can get a flight. That's what we did, and we are enjoying our time out here. They have a beautiful inside space, but also a nice patio, and it seems to be dog-friendly as well. The beers here have been 10 out of 10. We would definitely recommend it.
Cheers. Refreshing.
And a bonus, they also have a kitchen here, so you can get pizzas and sandwiches if you're feeling hungry. Well, we enjoyed our flight here at Gateway City Brewing, and we got some beers to take back to the site with us. After we got back to the park, we decided to check out the other campground area, and this is where there were a number of really great waterfront sites. And since I don't gatekeep great sites, I'm listing them out for you. Sites 135A, 135, 137A, and 146 were all nice electrical waterfront sites. Then there were a few non-electric waterfront sites like 148, 151, 153, and 155, all near the beach area. This is a very popular beachfront area today. There are tons of people out with all of their beach gear, and there is a small swing set here if you have kids. So we kayaked around the bend from the beach near our campsite and under the bridge that you have to drive over to get from the park office to the campsite. Next time we come, we'll have to try so much harder to get a waterfront site because it would absolutely be worth it here. On this paddle, we saw some really great waterfront sites. We also saw them when we drove by, but it was nice to see them from the water so you can see what the access points are like. So if you're looking for really cool waterfront sites here in Marten River, you can absolutely find them. However, I tried unsuccessfully numerous times to actually get one for this stay, so you will probably have to fight with thousands of other people who want those same sites, but it's worth it if you can get one and are able to bring your kayaks and canoes and paddleboards or motorized boats and just kind of have them available so that you can get in and out of the water easily. Now, if you like fishing, there was a small pull-off area by the bridge where you could climb down and fish from the rocks. It was close to the day-use beach where there were horseshoe pits, the canoe and kayak rentals, and a pretty large park area. Good morning. It's 6:45 and I am on my way to the comfort station, the big comfort station, which I actually haven't seen yet because we haven't gone over this way. So I'm on foot. I thought it would be nice to stretch my legs this morning, and hopefully there's not a big crowd, but it's 6:45, so I really doubt it. There are 2 showers in our comfort station in our campground, but this one is like the main building and they also have laundry, so let's go check it out. Comfort station has washrooms for men and women, a laundromat area, and 5 showers, 4 of which are not accessible and 1 is accessible. And the washrooms don't seem too dated, but they do require a bit of a tidy. So it's between $1.50 and $3 per load to wash and $1.50 per load to dry. And it's a pretty nice laundry room. They also have a dispenser for soap, bleach, and softeners, and they've got places where you can fold your laundry. So that was an excellent shower. The water pressure was so good. It seemed like the timer that it was on was extended because I only had to press it like 3 times instead of sometimes like 4 or 5. And only 1 other car was there, so it wasn't busy at all. And great water temperature too. So it was like nice and toasty, but not scalding. We had some cooler weather in the mornings and evenings on this trip, so I got myself a little fire started and finished my book and coffee by the campfire. We are down at the hiking trail area here, and this is where you can get on 3 different trails. As you can see here, there is a short loop in yellow, which is 0.8 kilometers, the red is 3.5 kilometers, and the blue is 4.2 kilometers. So we are going to see how far we want to go. I think the lookout point up there would be great to get to, but we shall see. So far we are about 5 minutes into the trail, and it's not overly difficult, but there are a lot of rocks and roots, and it is a narrow trail, but not too challenging so far. And now a decision has to be made, so we can continue on the red and blue trail this way, or we can take the shortcut for the short but sweet trail. And I think we're gonna go red or blue, so we'll continue this way. There are a few boardwalk areas which are nice. You know us, we love our leisure boardwalk trails, so these are always welcome. But just watch your step because there are a few places where the boards have rotted through. So we're now at the point where we can choose the red trail, which is a bit shorter, or the blue trail, which is a bit longer and has a lookout point.
I think we should choose the blue. I mean, it's breezy, the weather's really nice, there's no humidity right now. Might as well enjoy it while we got it.
We've made it to the viewpoint and it is absolutely worth the hike to get here. It is so pretty and calm, and there's just a beautiful marsh area with tons of lily pads and reeds, and there's flowers blooming over here. I saw a couple of frogs, no turtles though, and it's just a lovely little spot to come take some photos before heading back. And point to note, we walk at a fairly leisurely pace and it took us about 58 minutes, so almost an hour to get here. We have officially met back up with the blue and red trail. There are so many nice boardwalk areas on here, but then at the same time, there are also some pretty steep, rooty, and like rugged areas that you do have to go up and down. So definitely not an easy trail, but there are easy sections. So that's something good to know. But if you were doing this in like buggy weather, I would say avoid it because the bugs have been kind of dive bombing us on this later section, but if it was really bad bug weather, probably would not do this one. So overall, I would definitely recommend doing the trail. I think it took us about 2 hours to do the full blue trail, and we are not speed walkers at all. We like to leisure walk. And what did you think?
Take it slow if you have mobility issues. It's definitely doable, but it is tough.
Yeah, there were some areas that even well, look at me, I'm sweating and I'm out of breath. So were some areas that were more challenging, but if you can walk to the trail, I would recommend it because I don't know what's going on back there with everyone being double parked. And then there's also 3 cars just on the road blocking traffic. So that's weird, but maybe that's regular here. And just a short distance past the entrance Trail is the entrance to the bike trail. We don't have bikes, so we're not going to go do that. If you're looking for a really good site, site 135A is Waterfront. And I tried to get it and was unsuccessful. Now, if you're looking for a waterfront site that's not technically waterfront, site 140 here is pretty open facing the road, but right across from it is a public water access area. So that would be super convenient if you had kayaks and couldn't get an actual waterfront site that's private, because you could still easily launch your kayaks here. For the second time today, we are on our way back from the other campground to our campground, and I think it's about time we go floating. The worst part is getting in, but I'm in, baby. Just flop in. We're back at the site after a refreshing swim and shower, and I finished my book this morning. So this book was a 7 out of 10, I would rate it, and now I'm starting my second book of the trip, which is The Death of Mrs. Westaway, and after this book, I don't have anything else to read, so we're gonna have to stop somewhere between this park and the next one. Well, sadly, our visit here is coming to an end, and that means I need to let you know what we thought of this park and our experience here. And I'm going to start with what I liked about this park. I think this is a great park if you want to spend time out on the river boating in your canoes, stand-up paddle boards, kayaks, or even if you want to bring a motorized boat or sea-doo here, you can do that. They have tons of boat launches throughout the park, so it makes it really easy no matter where you are to launch your watercraft. I also thought the trails here were really great, and I like how they had them structured, so if you felt like turning back, you could just take the short loop or the medium loop or the big loop. So depending on what you were up for, they had an option for you. This park also has some really great waterfront sites, so if you do want to be closer to the water to make it easier to launch your canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, or even just to go swimming, or even just to have some waterfront views, they have some great options here. And I also like that this park had a logging museum, because that was a cool activity and attraction that you could do without even having to leave the park. And the park is pretty close to North Bay, so if you do need to hop into town to pick up anything, you can easily do so. It's about a 30 to 35 minute drive. And on the negative side, there is a highway right behind me, so I'm not sure if you can hear that, but there is some traffic noise. I wouldn't say that's negative, but just something to know if you are coming here and like a more peaceful experience. And maybe that the dump station is only one lane, so that might get busy. It is a holiday Monday, so I will let you know how that goes. Overall, I would give this park a big thumbs up, and if it was closer, I would probably make it one of my regulars. All right, we are at the dumping station, and to our luck, there was only one trailer in front of us, and they were just about to pull out when we arrived. One thing about this dumping station that I don't love is that there's really not a good place to have a lineup of trailers. So if you are waiting and you're trying to turn from the other campground, you would be blocking traffic. If you are coming from where that van is coming from, that is the other campground, and it wouldn't be too bad to line up there to get in, I guess, but just around the corner here to the right is where we came from. So if we were trying to get in the line, that may not be ideal. And this makes no sense to me, because there is so much road or paved driveway down here that they could have used to have the dump station like further down so that people could line up here. I don't know who designed this place, but it seems flawed. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with us to Marten River Provincial Park, and that this video gives you a glimpse at what this park has to offer and if it's the right park for you. Stay tuned though, because we have even more camping adventures ahead. We are going to Halfway Lake and Grundy Lake on our 10-day camping adventure. Plus, I have even more camping trips ahead. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.